guests. We've got Attorney Gilbert Andres, lawyer to families of alleged EJK victims. He joins us via Zoom from the Netherlands. Good afternoon. Good morning there, Attorney Andres.
Hi, sir.
Thanks for talking to us again.
Hello, Attorney.
Magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon po sa Pilipinas.
Okay, Book,
Okay.
go ahead.
Sir, give us a sneak preview of what we expect later. Kasi what we know so far is it's mostly procedural. Wala pang ganong substantial. Pero in effect, what do we expect? And yun nga, is there any possibility of fireworks considering the nature of the accused?
Just to be clear and just to clarify, this is not really the pretrial. It's just the initial proceedings.
Okay.
This is not the confirmation of charges. This is the initial proceedings under Article 60 of the Rome Statute. Now, what will happen in an initial proceedings? Basically, three things. First, they will identify the suspect. Next, the pretrial chamber will verify that the suspect understood the charges under the arrest warrant. And then third, the pretrial chamber will verify that the suspect understood his rights under the Rome Statute. And that fourth, whether or not the suspect will actually apply for interim release. Now, I'm using the word suspect because this is not yet confirmation of charges. But
Okay.
if the charges are confirmed, that's when the person will now be called a defendant. That's a very ICC terminology.
Hindi siya accused like in the Philippine context.
Actually,
Yung
more
defendant at accused pareho.
of if it's an international criminal justice procedure, it's more of defendant rather than accused. That's the terminology they use. But for all intents and purposes, they're just the same. The defendant is the
Yes.
accused.
Oh, okay. So this is not yet the confirmation of charges here. Kasi we were told ito na dapat yung next step.
yet.
Within days dapat ito na yung confirmation of charges. Okay, so this is the
Just
step
to
before that. Yeah.
Just to clarify, since the confirmation of charges will be scheduled afterwards, because it will take the court is given a reasonable time. In fact, the parties, both the prosecutor and the defense, will be given reasonable time. Because remember, in the confirmation of charges, the prosecutor will be given the chance to show that there is actually sufficient evidence to establish substantial grounds to believe that the person committed the crime charge. And then the defense will also be given the opportunity to actually object to the charge or challenge the evidence of the prosecutor or present evidence. Hence, both sides, the prosecutor and the defense, they need reasonable time to prepare for that. Kaya po hindi pa po ito yun. At hindi pa po in the next few days.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you, Attorney.
Sir, how
Attorney,
soon would that
yung mga
happen?
yung mga proceedings bang yan is public? Meaning,
Actually, public po siya.
halimbawa kahit sino pwedeng mag-walk-in at manood.
Okay, public po siya. That's the principle because it should be a public criminal trial. But
Yes.
as everyone can walk in, dahil po there's a limited number of seats in the public gallery, in every trial chamber proceedings, kailangan po ang kanila pong procedure ngayon ay mag-email. Oo, kaya first come, first basis po siya. Only because of that. But I want to add that there's actually a live feed, but it's not a live feed, it's an online view. And it's 30 minutes delayed for security reasons. So it's really available in person and online. You just look at the website of the ICC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, is the accused or the suspect allowed to talk at all, or he just has to respond to whatever questions the judges will throw at him? I ask that kasi, si ang dating Pangulo, he tends to perorate sometimes at great length. So alam mo yun, parang sa video, okay, pag nahawakan yung microphone, tuloy-tuloy na yan. So what do you expect from that as far as the rules are concerned?
Actually, this will just be minutes, so I don't think it will be more than an hour. Oo, kasi this will really be just questions na, have you read, So these are really very, it's not substantive na mga questions. So the President may, or the Duterte may actually speak, that's is opportunity, or that's pwede niyang gawin yun. Pero it's really mostly the counsel. In fact, if you look at the tradition and the practice of the ICC, it's really the counsel who speaks on behalf of the client. At actually, if you look at the setup ng ICC hearings, you can sense the majesty of the law. So I don't think Mr. Duterte can actually perorate in this instance.
That would serve.
Hindi naman na tumatalab yung kay President Duterte. But anyway, attorney, yung magpe-preside over the proceedings, sila rin yung magta-try.
No, Ami. It's actually the pretrial chamber, the pretrial chamber 1, which actually issued the arrest warrant. Now, if
Yes.
the confirmation charges, the decision or the resolution of the PTC is that it will proceed to trial, it will be given to a trial chamber. And that's still to
Okay.
be determined.
This
So
is
hindi
all,
pa natin alam actually kung sino yung mga judge. Kasi may mga lumalabas na yan na eh. Oh.
Sa pretrial chamber 1, oo. Sila po yun. Kasi they're the ones who issued the arrest warrant.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So they know
sila
the
nag-issue
fact.
ng arrest. Will they try it?
no.
They will not try it. It's a trial chamber that will still be determined after the
Okay.
confirmation of charges.
Sir, we're looking at the
Okay.
images.
Under Article 61 of the Rome Statute.
Yes, sir. Sir, we're looking
Okay.
now at images of the judges ng pre-trial chamber. These are three ladies. I understand the presiding judge is Romanian, and then the other one is from
Mexico and from Benin.
Yeah, in Benin. Just to put that out
Mexico.
there.
Context din, there's really a mix of jurisdictions because remember, there's common law jurisdiction, there's a civil law jurisdiction, there are mixed jurisdictions such as the Philippines. So we're very unique. We're American common law and we're actually Spanish civil law. That's why para po hindi sumobra yung isang jurisdiction, may mix talaga of jurisdictions as much as possible in every pretrial chamber or trial chamber or appeals chamber.
Right. The part where he is assigned an ICC accredited counsel, how does that work? What if he doesn't, ano yun, they just give him a list of names? Or can he nominate his own counsel? How does it work, attorney?
Well, in fact, it's okay. The principle is that only lawyers who are accredited to the ICC list of counsel can appear before the ICC. Now, it's actually a public list. So any accused, any defendant, any suspect can actually look at it. Now, doon lang siya talaga limited sa
But-
list na yun.
But
Oo.
there are very few Filipinos on the list. That's
There are
the
only
problem.
5, oo.
Yeah.
Now, I will surmise this. I will surmise that due to the circumstances, Mr. Mijaldea was actually emergency accredited. That's my surmise. Oh,
Yun
kasi
tinatanong ko,
only-
how quick? Oh, pwede pala yun, merong emergency accreditation.
it's really very exigent circumstances. So I'm only it's really a hypothesizing. Oh.
Oh, you're saying that this might be the case, but we don't know that for sure.
Do not know that for sure. But if we look at the principle, since only lawyers who are accredited can appear, maybe that had been the case for Mr. Mijaldea.
So the court
Have you
allows
met
some
any of the,
leeway.
the defense lawyers? Halimbawa si Harry Roque, nandiyan na ba?
That I cannot know. You have to ask him directly.
Yes, sir. Pero sir, you're very familiar with Harry Roque.
Yes.
No?
I'm familiar
Used to be
with
colleagues.
Attorney Harry Roque, yes. So
So you would know. You
Ay,
know.
hindi
You
pa
would
kayo
see.
I don't
nagkikita
know
dyan.
as to his whereabouts. I'm only familiar. Ninong ko po siya sa
Nobody
kasal.
knows
Opo,
his where-
may tatakip ko yun. Ninong ko po siya sa kasal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Pero nobody
Kaya
knows where he is.
hindi naman kinancel yung ano niya. Kinancel ba yung passport niya? He could go there.
No, I don't think
Ako,
it was
yan po, hindi
canceled.
ko po alam. Kailangan niyo po talaga to get it from him. Any information as to that. I cannot speak for him and I will not speak for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't think it was canceled kasi ito sa Senate, Senate summons na naman eh. Hindi naman siya court summon eh. So,
Yes.
in all likelihood, he's still free to move around.
Yeah, he
Maybe
can
just to watch
go there actually. He can go there.
And he's been traveling around, di ba? From Dubai, he went to,
Yes.
to Japan and all that.
Dito lang siya sa Pilipinas wanted.
So there. Sir, balikan ko lang okay. So we have what you only call initial proceedings. Pero yung confirmation of charges, how soon could that possibly happen? Or typically, how soon does that happen from now?
Oh, okay. Oo, it's really difficult to give a time period. Oo, kasi reasonable time eh.
Yes, sir, but
Kasi
that's subjective.
for both parties prosecution and the defense So that will still have to be determined.
But is there an average of sorts? I know we've only had 30 plus cases, pero when you look at the history of
More or
the
less,
ICC,
maybe 60 days, more or less. Not specific, or more or less.
don't worry, sir, we won't commit you to that. Pero if you look at the history, it could be up to 60 days or 2 months from now bago magsimula yung confirmation of charges na hearing.
Oh, more or less.
Mahaba-haba.
Kasi remember, pati yung defense kailangan mag-prepare. Yung prosecution kailangan din mag-prepare.
Yes.
Kasi just to emphasize, there's also the principle of the equivalence of arms. Kung ano man ang binigay na resources at times sa prosecution, dapat bibigyan din ng resources at time ng defense. Kasi the rights to a fair trial of the defendant, accused, suspect is very important in international criminal justice. Kaya hindi po pwedeng sabihin ng ninuman na kinidnap po sila dahil sa ICC, at hindi po pwedeng sabihin ninuman na mayroong injustice yung proceedings po ng ICC, because the ICC has that cornerstone. It's based actually on the Nuremberg principles. It's one of the foundational principles of international criminal justice.
It's called the principle of equivalence of arms.
Yes.
We learn something new
So,
every
ano
day.
mangyayari pag sinabi ni President Duterte, I do not recognize the jurisdiction of this court?
Well, it means it's his legal challenge. So it has to be determined by the pre-trial chamber.
Sa pre-trial na yan. Tuloy-tuloy siya.
Okay. That's a very good question. Actually, there are provisions in the Rome Statute that can be availed of. Oo, marami dyan. Article 19. Oo. So, isa po yan sa mga pwede pong i-raise and I'm saying this in a very hypothetical way.
Yes.
But if it will be raised, I think that the prosecution has very good grounds to say that this is admissible before the ICC, and the ICC has jurisdiction. Because
Yes.
I want to point out that no less than the Philippine Supreme Court and Senator Pangilinan versus Cayetano. In fact, we were also petitioners there, PCICC versus Executive Secretary, in a unanimous decision that said that the ICC indeed has jurisdiction over international crimes in the Philippine territory from November 1, 2011 until March 16, 2019. You can look at that in the Philippine Supreme Court unanimous decision.
They did issue that. But unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we will leave that there. Thank you so much for your time this
Thank you, sir.
afternoon. Attorney Gilbert Andres, lawyer to alleged
Salamat po.
Yes, sir.
EJK
Mabuhay
victims.
po tayo
Thank you,
lahat.
Attorney.
Thank you.